Hey friends, if you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering, where the heck do I start with my Cricut? What project is great for a beginner like me? I'm going to tell you today 5 of our no-nos for when you're just starting out with your Cricut, and then 10 projects that you can jump right into as a Cricut beginner. As you can see, I've got 5 different projects laid out on this table, and while these are all beautiful and amazing projects, they're not necessarily things that you want to start off with when you're just getting into Cricuting. We want to set ourselves up for success, and we don't want to feel like completely defeated after we've created our first project, and that's why we pulled these 5 projects to show you all maybe where you shouldn't start, and then right after I show you these, we can get into projects that you're going to want to jump right into. So the first one, obviously we've got this big old sign over here. This is just a wooden door sign. Now these are so popular in the crafting world. They have been for years. People make and sell these like crazy. This sign is beautiful. It's a part of our Maker University course that we offer. But it's just very, very intricate, all the way from the floral piece on the top to the painting technique down here. We've added gold flake, we've used stencils, it's oversized. So you can see there's a lot of different crafting elements, and this is something, if you love door signs, you can totally work up to this. And I don't want you to feel like, oh my gosh, I can never get to that level. You totally can, and I want you all to feel inspired by things like this to motivate you to grow and to expand your knowledge on how to create beautiful oversized wood signs, if that's something that you want to get into. So this sign is so beautiful. We love it. We love our Maker University course, but it's not the best place to start out if you're just beginning. Something else that I want to talk about is layered HTV. Now, a lot of people may argue that layered HTV is not that hard, and while you're right, it's really not that difficult. There can be some finicky things about layering more than just 2 layers. If you start getting into 3, 4, 5 different colors of heat transfer vinyl and you're trying to stack it and it's shrinking and you've got to do a cool peel versus a warm peel and all the elements that go into layering HTV, it can start to be a little bit difficult. I'm going to show you this project that we made just recently that is so fun and cute. We have a full tutorial on this, but it is not super beginner friendly. So if you're wanting to start layering vinyl, I suggest firstly making your own HTV shirt with 1 layer of HTV and then adding in a 2nd layer and getting really comfortable with that before you start going in here and adding in the pinks and yellows with the glitter, and there's white, and there's all of this that comes together to create this beautiful shirt. But you just need to kind of get your toes wet, get really acquainted with your machine, and then once you feel comfortable, go ahead and level up to multicolored HTV projects. Another textile project that we absolutely love around here is screen printing. Now, this is not a super difficult process. It's not, but it does have a learning curve, and there are lots of different things that go into screen printing that can make it very finicky. So this is not actually vinyl. This is a screen printed design on a baby onesie. It's so cute. Screen printing really gives that next level element to our designs, and it's something that we teach on our channel. It's just not something that's super beginner friendly. If you wanted to recreate a shirt like this, I would suggest using some type of just simple white HTV. You can totally do this on your own as a beginner, and then if you feel like, oh, I want something a little bit more permanent, you can dive into the screen printing world. There's lots of things to learn, and it's very fun, and it's a very cool hobby to pick up too. So HTV, if you're a beginner, once you get comfortable, you can hop over to screen printing. It's a very, very fun process. Our 4th thing that I want to talk about is 3D paper projects. Now, I love 3D paper projects. They're probably one of my favorite crafts to make, but they are hard to sell. They're very finicky to put together sometimes, and they can be frustrating if you don't have all the tools, or if you don't know exactly how to fold things and how to assemble them, and you have to recut and all this. So they're not great if you're a beginner, but it is something that you can get into later on. So this is just a little 3D hat box. Now, this was something that we made for Father's Day. You can see that this is an entire box that we completely built ourselves, and then you put this on the top. I mean, how cool is that? Very fun. Not super beginner friendly, but it is definitely something that you can work up to. This is our 5th project that I would not recommend for beginners. Now, this is our cat scratch tumbler. These tumblers are absolutely dazzling. They're so beautiful. This is something that we experimented with forever and ever, trying to get the right way to lay the glitters down and which cat scratch works the best and all of that. If you do love this, we have a tutorial on this entire tumbler, but it is not super beginner friendly. So I would suggest, if you want to get into tumbler making, start with adhesive vinyl and applying it to a pretty colored tumbler. That's going to be a good first step. Or you can do HTV on stainless steel even. And then once you get comfortable with those types of things, you can jump into working on glitter tumblers that have resin on them and things like that. The resin is really a difficult part of this. While resin is really fun to work with, it is very particular in that you have to have right heat settings, the right times, all of those things come into play. So this is a really cool project. It's just not great if you're just starting out. Now that we've covered all of the projects that you probably shouldn't start out with, let's go over all of these projects that you can make today as a Cricut beginner. So we were just talking about that beautiful cat scratch glitter tumbler, but y'all, listen, that project gets a little crazy. This is something that you can start doing today to make your projects a little bit more elevated, and that is applying HTV with a really fun, beautiful pattern on it to a basic stainless steel tumbler. So that's all we've done here. Now, while this is a heat transfer vinyl, adhesive vinyl is a little bit easier to work with. So if you really are a beginner, I would recommend a patterned adhesive vinyl to apply to tumblers first. And then when you're comfortable with that, move on to the heat transfer vinyl. But a patterned vinyl is really a good way to start out and elevate your designs just from the beginning. This project right here is using a really beautiful design from the Makers Gonna Learn website, and this is actually just adhesive vinyl. So that's something that you could do. And then we've also got this really cool print and cut sticker that we added to the back here just to create a fun, cool design using the mandala tutorial that we taught. And you can just add these print and cut stickers to anything to really level up your basic designs. Now, on the topic of print and cut, let's talk about stickers and how easy it is to create a sticker in Cricut Design Space. The Create Sticker function is brand new to the beta version of Cricut Design Space. If you haven't seen that, we've got some tutorials on the channel. I can link below for you all. But it is so easy just to add an offset to an image, print these out, and then cut them with your Cricut. We have tons of tutorials on this on the channel. They're so user friendly, especially for beginner Cricut users. And you can see here, you can work with holographic materials, or you can just work with white stickers as well as clear stickers, and you're gonna get a beautiful result almost every single time. On the topic of print and cut, I want to show you all these beautiful magnetic bookmarks. So this is something that we did at our members only summit last year. They're so beautiful. These are actually magnetic paper. So you're going to be able to print and cut on these printable magnetic sheets. These are just so easy to pull together. Once you learn how to make one, you can just use any image that you want, and then you can cut it out with your Cricut. Another print and cut project that we love to do around here is making waterproof labels. Now, this one, we actually have this whole design right here, so you can plug and go with your wording. You can put these on shampoos and conditioners and things like that. This is just a hand soap that we have applied a waterproof sticker over, and you can put labels on everything in your house. This is such a fun and easy project to complete, and you're going to be successful nearly every time. One project that I suggest to all beginners is to create a card. Now, there are different elements that you can add to cards. Like this one is more of a three-dimensional card. We've used some holographic cardstock as well as a sketch font, which is really fun. Or you can do something like this where we used a monoline image to create a design on the front of the card, and you can even write on the inside of your card. Now, while you're like, I'm a beginner, I don't know how to do any of that, we have tons of tutorials on the channel teaching you all how to write in and on your cards. And they're so fun and easy to make. You guys can totally whip these up in no time. One of my favorite go-to projects to offer to people when they're just starting out with their Cricut is a simple adhesive vinyl project. And what I mean by that is just taking adhesive vinyl, cutting a design out of it with your Cricut, and then applying it to a base. So we have projects like this super cute vintage motel keychain. Even this little Dollar General storage container is so cute. We simply added some white adhesive vinyl to this, and then we were done. So super easy way to have some success and keep your momentum going, especially when you just get started. The reason we're wanting to give you all so many of these projects is because we love to have small wins to keep us motivated to keep going. And when you start out with projects like screen printing or 3D paper crafting, sometimes you can feel overwhelmed and feel defeated before you even had a chance to set a foundation for yourself. So all these projects that we're talking about today are going to be really good for you all that are just getting started and do not have that foundation yet. So adhesive vinyl projects, print and cut projects, I've got some HTV I'm about to show you guys. So things like that are going to be great for you all to get a small win and then just keep going on your Cricut journey. That way you eventually get to the place where you can make whatever you want with your Cricut. Something that we play around with all the time here on the channel is heat transfer vinyl. So heat transfer vinyl is pretty much the same as adhesive vinyl, except you can apply it to textiles and the adhesive is activated by heat. It also has a built-in carrier sheet, which makes it a lot easier for weeding. So you can make intricate designs like this and apply them to t-shirts if you are in the market for making t-shirts. Those are very popular. And then you can also make something simple like a little dish towel, and you can put whatever you want on it, maybe a last name, maybe a fun quote. And then you just need an iron. We recommend the Cricut Mini Easy Press for craft projects, and you just apply that heat transfer vinyl to the fabric and you're good to go. Now, we do have this big old sign over here, which maybe you're like, holy moly, I want to make something like that. That's so big. It looks like you bought it at Hobby Lobby. Lauren made this using heat transfer vinyl. This is just a black heat transfer vinyl and it adheres to wood. So you can really make some super elevated projects using HTV on wood. I mean, I absolutely love this. It looks like we bought it from the store. And our last project is cake toppers. Now, we talked about 3D paper projects and how they can be a little bit difficult. Cake toppers are a much easier way to jump into paper crafting. So this is just a simple cake topper that we made for Courtney's 25th birthday, but you can get into Design Space and totally create your own cake toppers for your kids' parties. It's a really good way to dip your toes in to paper crafting, and it's so fun and forgivable, especially with paper crafts, because you don't have a lot of overhead, and if you mess up, you can just cut some more out of cardstock because it's not super expensive. I hope after today's video, if you were unsure about where to start with your Cricut and what project you need to make first, I hope we cleared some things up for you. Or if you've been working with your Cricut and you're feeling frustrated because you're trying to create some of those projects that we mentioned in the beginning and you're not having success, I just really want to encourage you all to get that good foundation and then build from there. We need to have a good solid foundation. That way we can grow and get better and better at our craft. If you all like what you saw today, you can join our membership for free for 7 days. You'll get complete access to our website, meaning you can watch our 30 days to master your Cricut. You can download 20 files to keep forever, even if you cancel. And then if you love us, you can stay and become a monthly or a yearly subscriber. We would love to have you as a part of our community. Make sure to subscribe and hit the little bell notification so you are notified every time that we post, and we will see you all in the next video.